Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mangus, and I welcome you guys to a brand new series that I have decided to call the Advanced Wars 2 Randomized War Room Challenge. Now, what does this entail, you may ask? Well, it's something that a lot of people have wanted to see, and that is me playing the War Room. However, it's going to be with a slight twist. So in this series, I'm going to be going through the War Room maps, and I'm going to try to get as good of a score as possible. I'm going to try to aim for the S rank if possible. But I'm going to be doing it with a random commander every time, and I'm even going to include some of the more overpowered ones, such as Nell and Kambai and Colin. But I decided to leave Storm and Hachi out of it because they're in a tier of their own, and they just make the war rooms, a fucking joke. So a lot of guys have wanted to see me do more Advanced Wars content on my channel, and I've been feeling up for it as well. So in this video, I'm going to be taking on Spann Island, and I'm going to be opening up a website called Randomized Things. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Random Thing Picker, yes. And I've listed all the commanders right here. Andy, Sammy, Nell, Max, Olaf, Grits, Colin, Jess, Drake, Eagle, Sonia, Kanbai, Sensei, Adder, Flak, Hawk, and Lash. That's everyone except for Hachi and Storm, I'm pretty sure. If I left someone out, then make sure to tell me in the comments section. And what I'm going to do is after I pick the commander, I'm going to remove the commander from this list, and that will mean that we will go through all the COs, and then once we've gone through them all, I will just re-enable the list, so to say. So the first commander that we are going to be picking for Spann Island is Grit. Okay, we're going to be playing Grit, boys. That's actually not fantastic. He's not good at like rushing the war rooms, because we do need to play fasts. Anyway, so it's going to be Grit. That means, of course, that we won't get Grits until a very long while. So it's actually beneficial to get some of the weaker commanders, so that we get the stronger ones for the more difficult war rooms. So I think in order to win or to get an S rank in Spann Island, you need to defeat it in 9 or 10 days. I can't actually remember. But Grit could be tricky. Anyway, so the first thing we want to do, so we want to build an infantry, Some people like to build an APC very quickly and transport a unit over here. I personally don't like that. I prefer to just ignore the buildings and go straight for these buildings right here. And normally I save up for a tank, but since I'm playing Grit, I'm actually going to make an exception, and I'm going to build an artillery. Because the artillery is going to be very strong with its increased range. That's partly why Grit is so goddamn powerful, is his ability to, well, basically the artillery gets 50% increased range, which is just ludicrous, really. But normally on Spann Island, you want to spam a lot of tanks early on. That's kind of how you want to deal with it. Now, of course, we got to be careful of this recon. So what we can do is we can kind of bait it out, so to say. Or we could simply just place the artillery right here. And now it covers a lot of essential places, so to say. I'm going to take over this building. And I think the time has come to take over these two as well. And I'm going to build another artillery. So Andy builds a tank pretty quickly. We're going to see what he does with his recon. He decides to keep it out of range for now. As I said, Grit has sort of a turtlish style, and it's going to be a little bit tricky to... You know what? I'm actually not going to attack here. Because if I attack here, he's just going to move in with his infantry. Although I'm pretty sure he's just going to capture, so I might as well. Now, when you do the first attack, always attack from a forest. Like, you don't want to attack from here, because this attack is going to do the most damage to your infantry, so you always want to make sure you attack from a heavily fortified terrain. Very important. And since we're playing against Andy, it's going to be very important also to make sure that we always wipe out units, so he doesn't have anything to heal with his power. And there is a hidden trick to playing against Andy that I'm actually going to be showing you guys later. Now, of course, the AI either keeps back when it's confronted with indirect fire, and then when it has enough units, it's just going to charge in with everything it got. Sadly, this is not going to be enough to deal with Grits. That was a misclick. That was a big misclick. Fucking hell. It's no biggie though. We can still shield our still shield our stuff. But that was a little bit annoying. I'm actually going to attack here to prevent him from taking the city. But that was actually pretty bad, because I was going to destroy his recon with that. But that didn't happen, and that is annoying. Now, when confronted with tanks, you want to build mechs. Not tanks of your own, because Grit's tanks are just so weak, there's really nothing you can do about it. Now, of course, another fatal flaw in the AI's playstyle. Forgetting that my artillery vastly outranges his. We're in day 7 now. We need to start going a little bit aggressive on him if we actually want him to... this could be a kill if we're lucky. No, it wasn't a kill. But we need to start actually advancing if we want to get an S rank. We can't just turtle up forever. We need to move. Now, I'd like to attack here, but I think I'm not gonna attack because he's on a city. So it's not gonna be beneficial for me to attack. It's just gonna heal up the damage anyway. I'm actually gonna build a tank. And that's because normally I hate building tanks as crits, but I think I need something capable of doing direct attacks and actually move. We're on day 8. I might be able to get an S rank. I'm going to move this infantry up here. It's going to get killed. And I'm going to attack his 1 hit point guys with my dudes to prevent him from repairing them with hyper repair. Always wipe out enemies when you play a crit or play against Andy. So let's see. He now has his hyper repair. But this is a hidden trick about Andy. Now, I'm going to leave his APC alone. I'd much rather advance my artillery. This is something interesting about Andy. He will not use his power, or his superpower, for that matter. I think we're just going to build a bunch of recons, because they're fast, they can get there and block the bases. He will use his power now, because he has damage units. But if he doesn't have any damage units, he will not use his power. Not even his superpower. So, this is actually a funny thing about Andy. If you only kill units, and you leave all the other units alive, and that is, he doesn't stand with any injured units left on the battlefield, he will actually not use his superpower. And you can simply just prevent him from using it completely. Which is a little bit funny. Now we gotta protect this artillery. We could leave some bait units out. We gotta be careful so he simply don't kill us and then move on. I think what we can do is we can move the artillery over here, and we can move this artillery over here. I don't know. He won't be able to kill this infantry. I could even attack like this just to piss him off. But I could go in for a bait here. Move another bait unit in here. Basically, a bait unit is a unit that you expect the AI to attack to alleviate pressure on the other dudes. Okay, he can't attack our artillery, which means that we might as well do a little bit of damage to his APC. And the recons are gonna play a very important part. We're on day 9. Day 9. The recons are simply just there to block bases. And take infantry, of course. Even though they're weak, they can do it pretty feasibly well. I'm going to be careful, though. I can't lose all of my infantry. But I have 1 healthy infantry unit remaining. So now we need to be careful about who we attack. This artillery is going to attack this tank. And I'm definitely thinking about using my power here. Remember, the power also gives you 10% increased defense, in addition to its other shit. So it also makes your units tougher. In this situation right here, you can see why Grit is so fucking overpowered. And now the recons are going to be very helpful. We got to keep this guy alive. This is really important. And this is... yeah, I kind of hoped that this guy would die, but he didn't, so that sucks. Luckily, Grit's infantry aren't weaker. So that's definitely something you can use to your advantage. Spam a lot of infantry to shield your guys. And pretty much at this point, recons are the only units that are going to be fast enough to actually make... oh crap, I actually built an infantry. That will actually make it to the front lines in time. So building any other units is not really going to be worth it. And he's going to be spamming a lot of mechs. Actually, now he's built a tank, funnily enough. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm gonna move in a recon right here. I'm gonna attempt to block his base. And I also need to kill this APC. Because I want to kill his tank. And then I can block this base with this recon. That's essentially how you win on this map. This is why the recons are really good. I'm gonna leave my infantry here, and I'm gonna cap this HQ next turn, which means I should be able to finish this on day 13. Which I don't think that's a fast enough rank to get S rank, but at least I tried. And Grit is not the best CO to get an S rank within War Room. He's a little bit too slow. And I keep building units because that increases my score. Andy heals up again. And he goes for a completely irrelevant unit, so that's good. Alright, so now we want to kill as many dudes as we can. Essentially, this mech needs to die. Sadly, he is probably going to attack our infantry with this 6 hit point mech. And there's very little I can do about that. No, he doesn't do anything. That's lovely. Alright. 20,000. Let's expend all of our cash to get as high of a score as possible. And we probably want to kill him to get a better power score instead of capping his HQ. Alright, let's see how we did. Da 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 da. Oh, I think we're like 1 point away from an S rank. 1 fucking point away from an S rank. I literally think it's 275 points or upwards. Not bad, y'all. Don't be a sore loser. Alright, well. So that's how we did. Feel free to play this map as Grits and tell me if you managed to get an S rank, and if you did, you can post a screenshot of it in the comment section. I would really like to see. Then you can actually play this challenge with me, and you can show me how much better you are at Advanced Wars and Gloats. So, we're gonna go to the randomizer, and we're gonna be removing Grits from the list. And, yeah. Next up is gonna be Moji Island versus Adder. This is a pretty big map, and it's actually kind of tricky to get the S rank rating on. I'm actually going to figure out exactly how fast you have to be to get an S rank next time, so we actually know. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed this first part of my randomized Advanced Wars 2 War Room Challenge, or I think I called it the Advanced Wars 2 Randomized War Room Challenge. Whatever the fuck you want to name it. Please leave a comment and a like, it really fucking helps out, and especially if you want to see more Advanced Wars 2 content, that is a very smart thing to do, guys. As always, my name has been Mangs, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.